Welcome students, we're in lesson 2.2. We're talking about the international system, also known as the metric system. Now you might prefer the customary system because it's the one that you're used to using every day, but really the metric system is extremely easy to use because there is only one unit of measure for each type of measurement. You have meters for length, you have grams for mass or weight, and you have liters for capacity or volume. And they each have their own little letter, lowercase m for meters, lowercase g for gram, and a capital L for liter. Now, with that, we can change or adjust how much of that meter, how much of that gram, how much of that liter we're actually using by adding prefixes. And that's all the metric system does, is it adds prefixes and changes the decimal place. And that's how it goes from one size of something to the other size, and that size is using the base 10. So every time the decimal moves from one over to another, it's going to go up or down using a prefix. So if you think about it, let's look at 1 meter. All right, 1 meter here. This is our base unit. If we take this meter and we divide it by 100, then we have a centimeter. So that means that we have 100 centimeters in 1 meter because we took 1 meter and divided by 100. The same thing is true for if we took grams or liters or whatever. So if we were to take, let's say we had 1 kilometer. It's bigger. It's in the multiplication side. So 1 kilometer would be the same thing as taking 1 meter times 1,000. So that would be 1,000 meters. So you can see how that works. You can create your own conversion or unit of reference just depending upon what it is that you need. Another way to do that, if you are given a value, let's say we have 4 centimeters, and we want to know how many hectometers that is. There's this cool little method called the stair-step method. And what you do is you put your base unit, which in this case it's meters, in the middle, and you start with where you are, which is centimeters. So we start here, and then where do we want to go? We want to go to, let's say hectometers, right? Hectometers. So if you, wherever you are, that is where your decimal starts. Our decimal is right here. And whichever direction you move is the direction that you move your decimal on your number. So I'm going to put 4 hectometers because I know that I'm going to go to the left because it is this direction from centa. It's to the left of centa. So I'm going to count the number of spaces that I have to move or the number of steps that I have to take. So 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to get to hectometer, and I held it too long, and so my software just didn't want to stay with me. So 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. So I'm going to move the decimal 4 places, and my arrow is to the left, so I'm moving to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put in some zeros so that it illustrates where my decimal is. Right? So I moved my decimal 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So I have 0.0004 hectometers when I have 4 centimeters. That's the way it works. You're just going to be moving the decimal either to the left or the right, depending on where you are and where you want to go, what you have, and what you want to convert it to. Now, a cool way to remember this stair step, because you could take this stair step and draw it on your notebook or on your back cover and then have that unit of reference forever. A cool way to do that is to remember this acronym here. I guess it's not an acronym. I guess it's more of a, what is it when you make a poem out of the first letter, an anagram, something like that. That is why, I'm the math teacher. But you take the first letter of each one of these and we create a cool little poem out of it to remember each one. And that when you tell a story with that, then it helps you to remember what that means. Or you remember the proper order. And we have a K, an H, a D, a B for the base unit. Then we have D for deci, C for centa, and M for milli, right? So kilo, hecto, deca, base, deci, centa, milli. Now, by myself, I couldn't remember those letters like that. But if I have my cool little story, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. If you can remember, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, then you can remember the order of the stair step. King, kilo, Henry, hecto, died, deca, by, base unit, whatever it is, deci, drinking, chocolate, centi, milli, milk. And milli and milk look a lot alike because they start with the same first three letters, so it helps you to remember where it goes. And here's a cute little picture to help you visualize King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Here is King Henry, our little king who died by drinking chocolate milk. So I hope that little funny picture helps you remember this acronym or anagram or whatever it is that will help you remember the stair step. The stair step will help you get your decimal places in the right spot. So let's do an example problem using our stair step and our conversion method. Okay? So here's our first example problem. We're going to convert 5.279 meters to centimeters. So if we look at our conversion chart, we would see that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So we can do this two different ways. We can use our unit conversion like we're used to, and we could say 5.279 meters over 1 times 100 centimeters over 1 meter, cancel our meters, and this would actually move our decimal place 2 places. 5.279 times 100 is 527.9 centimeters, which just resolves to 527.9 centimeters. Or we can use our stair step, and we could just write our number out, 5.279 meters, and we want to go to centimeters. So we would actually start here. Our base unit would be meters. And we would start at meters and go to centimeters. So we would go 2 spaces to the right. So 2 spaces to the right would be 1, 2. So 527.9 centimeters. So you can use the stair step or you can use the conversion. You're going to get the same answer either way. Use the way that is the easiest for you. So let's try one more. So here we have example 2, convert 3,750.4 centimeters to hectometers. So I have to remember how many, and I can use my stair step to help me do this, how many is in each one going from hectometers to centimeters. So my base unit is going to be meters. All right, so if my base unit is meters, that means that there is 10 decameters in one. Nope, I'm sorry. I've got that backwards. In 1 decameter, there's 10 meters. And in 1 hectometer, there's 10 decameters. So that's getting bigger. right? Now getting smaller, I know that 1 meter has 1, I think this is DK, yeah, decameter, and this is decimeter. And then 1 decimeter is 10 centimeters. Sorry, there we go. Now, if I multiply these out, then that tells me that I have 100 meters per, yeah, that's right, 100 meters in 1 hectometer. And if I multiply this out, then I get 100 centimeters in 1 meter. All right, so that puts all 4 of those together. So those are my unit of reference, 1 to go up and 1 to go down. So I have 3750.4 centimeters that I want to turn into hectometers. So I'm going to use this unit of reference for centimeters and convert to meters first. So 1 meter is the same as 100 centimeters. Okay, that cancels centimeters. Now I'm going to cancel meters and go to hectometers. So that would be 1 hectometer is the same as 100 meters. So I'm going to cancel that. So now my unit of measure is hectometers. So 3750.4 divided by 100 times 100 is going to be 10,000 hectometers. So when I do the division here, I'm going to be moving my decimal 4 places. So that's going to be 0.37504 hectometers in that many centimeters. So you can do it like that. You can figure out your conversion by remembering the place value, or you can just use your stair steps. Sorry, I can't speak. Use your stair steps in order to do that. So if you use your stair steps, then you're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to start at centimeters. It's just a little bit more visual when we do it this way. So we would be moving our decimal point. We would start with 3750.4 is equal to, sorry, unit of measure is required, centimeters. And I'm going to write the same number without any decimal places and put hectometers on the end. And I'm going to count from centimeters to decimeters. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where I want to go, is hectometers. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps. So I'm going to move my decimal place from here, which is where it is originally, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the same answer I got over here. This way is a little bit faster, but it requires that you draw this out first. So either way, it's going to take a little bit of time until you become familiar and know your places with the metric system. So I recommend, for the sake of being able to do your homework quickly, draw out your stair step, or go ahead and write out all your unit of references. One of the two. Whichever way makes the most sense to you, that's the way that you do it. Because you're going to get the same answer if you do it right either way. Now this way, just it seems faster to me, but I'm also a visual learner. So this stair step method is very visual, and you could use it regardless of which way you're going, up or down. It doesn't matter. With this method, unit of reference, you do need to know kind of which way you're going, up or down, to know how to do the multiplication or the division. So whichever way works for you, that's the way you do it. And that is all we have for lesson 2.2. I'll see you in lesson 2.3.